Let me once again emphasize that the medium and long-term solution for mitigating against the impact of rising prices and such other economic crises lies in increasing our local production of goods and services for local consumption, but also for exports.
The dialogue comes at a time when Uganda and all East African countries are preparing budgets for the fiscal year 2022-23. Therefore, understanding how such shocks can be cushioned through the budget process had to be deliberated on.
The price increase is mostly from imported commodities that is affecting again what we are doing internally. First of all, I think for me is when we talk about reserves, everybody is thinking about the oil reserves. But we still need to think about our granaries in the villages, at the village level, at the sub-county level, at the district level. What kind of system are we put in place to have those national food reserves?
Annual headline and core inflation are below the monetary policy aimed target of 5%. And as such, one can argue that there is no cause for alarm. However, certain categories such as motor vehicle fuel and some household and construction items like laundry soap, cooking oil and cement seem to be running ahead of other commodities.
When you look at DRC coming on board, of course, it gives us the momentum to take advantage of the African continental free trade area, which has been put for all of us at East African level, but do we have the capacity to deliver? Do we have those commodities we can say Uganda is well known of X?
Increased subsistence farming vis-a-vis limited quality paying jobs has also been cited as one of the major reasons Ugandans are feeling the price hikes.
The share of working persons in subsistence agriculture increased from 41% to 52% before and after the outbreak of the pandemic. What does this really mean? That people who were getting money in their pockets had gone now to produce for what we call chidachonka, for the stomach. And when you look at the situation now, that also tells you that we don't have the resilience to be able to counter the rising prices because there is no money that the people have to be able to spend. If you find an economy which is mostly formal, and as long as people have jobs, you are looking at the US, for example. They have had inflation, the worst inflation is in 40 years, much more than ours. But people are not suffering so much with the increasing prices because they have jobs.
But what we see some policymakers think that actually agriculture cannot be a pathway to industrialization and economic transformation. It can, and Uganda can actually chart that path. So I will recommend that actually even the people who rent to agriculture as a way of escaping the lockdown during the COVID-19 may need to stay there and invest in agriculture substantively and transform it rather than leaving agriculture for the elderly, for the very young who cannot transform it.
The main objective of this roundtable discussion is to set the ground for open discourse on the economy and also set objectives for inclusive and sustainable recovery, guided by transparent fiscal and monetary policy formulation and implementation processes. Wadulo, Mark Arnold, UBC News in Kampala.